Now the segment that everyone always hates me for, yeah, I am gonna give some early on. Maybe it's too early to do it, but fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and give early UFC 158 predictions. You want predictions for UFC 156, 157? You're just gonna have to wait. I feel like this card's more important. People have asked me already for predictions. I did 2 videos already about them, so about this card in particular. So, so far, there's 3 fights on the card, but the 3 fights on the card are 3 fights that I've been waiting to see for a long time. If this card keeps building steam like this, with these quality of fighters in fights like this is an early candidate for card of the year.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So far, we have a man on a fucking mission. Probably the most pissed off, nice guy in MMA. One of the nicest guys in MMA, but he's fucking pissed right now. And Johnny Hendricks will be on. Johnny Hendricks will be on the card.
Tough son of a bitch too.
Tough motherfucker. People skid across that canvas when he hits them, man. I mean, he's no joke. He hits like Chuck Liddell in his prime.
Yeah, yes.
At 170.
Yeah,
he hits like Chuck Liddell in his prime. I don't know how people do it. They did do a sports science one time that shows that it comes from your ass.
Yeah, that was Rampage, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they said it comes from like your glutes, and they said in layman's terms, and Rampage said it comes from your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so yeah, so Johnny Hendricks must have one hell of an ass, because I mean, literally, people scared what he did to Martin Kampmann. No one's ever done to Martin Kampmann in his 10-year career, as a mixed martial artist. No one's ever done that. Plus, he's a Dutch fucking kickboxer. No one's ever done that. He did it in 19 seconds. Another guy, I forget who the other guy. He just knocked the fuck out, man. I mean, it was like 9 seconds. It was Josh Koscheck's old teammate.
His last fight.
No, his last fight was Martin Kampmann. That's who I was talking about. There's another guy who did the same thing too.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Damn. John Fitch.
Oh, yeah.
He just blanked his fucking card out too. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, he's embarrassing veteran fighters that expect this shit to come. I think it comes so hard, so fast, so quick.
Yeah, he's so quick.
And I think they don't mind getting hit with their veterans. They don't mind getting hit with a few punches. Yeah, but you take one from Johnny Hendricks, you don't get back up. Apparently, he did edge out a split decision against Koscheck. So many people were saying Koscheck won that fight and that he got ripped off. After watching the fight 3 times, I still give the fight to Hendricks by a hair. But yeah, Koscheck, I can see how people give it to Koscheck, but listen, it is what it is. Johnny Hendricks remains unbeaten. I mean, one day this kid's going to be a belt holder, no doubt. And we've got Chris Weidman and people like Chris Weidman and Alexander Gustafsson, John Jones, Hanan Barrow, Michael McDonald is facing Hanan Barrow. Yeah, well, there's Mike McDonald at bantamweight, and then Rory McDonald. I mean, this is the new breed that are just whoosh. They're just like they're whooshing in at an epic rate, and these guys. These guys are going to take over. There's not one facet of MMA that they're especially good at. They're fucking fantastic at whatever they need to use at that particular time. They are absolute experts at. So we're going to, and he was going to hold out and not fight until this whole thing was done. I guess he changed his mind, which tells me he's pissed off, a man on a mission, and I wouldn't want to be on the cage, going anywhere near a cage with Johnny Hendricks at UFC 158. Rory McDonald versus Carlos Condit, the rematch, part 2. What happened in the first one? He was manhandled, basically. He was beaten down. Condit was beaten down by McDonald. This definite. He's probably the creepy fuck. I would not want to spend the night at that kid's house.
I'm glad he's fighting and not.
He needs to be fighting. This could be the only thing he can do, because if he did anything else, he would just creep them out, man.
Yeah.
He could not have a girlfriend. I wouldn't be surprised if he was still a virgin.
I wouldn't be surprised if he cut the heads off kitties.
I wouldn't be surprised if he drank virgin blood.
I'm glad he doesn't live
anywhere near. Please stay in Canada. Please. He came from the States too. Thank God. Thank God I'll never go to Canada for any reason at all, ever.
But he'll kick some ass, so.
Oh, yeah. He's an ass kicker. and that's all he should ever do. He just shouldn't talk anymore. It
Yeah.
fucking creeps me out. I don't want to see him in his weird Pee Wee Herman tuxes and
His
you
weird
know,
whisper
talking
voice.
about literally killing people, literally taking people's lives. It's just a fight. But anyway, I got that guy.
But he's creepy.
Creepy fuck. I would not want to spend the night at that kid's house.
I'm glad he's fighting and not.
He needs to be fighting.
Yeah.
This can be the only thing he can do, because if he did anything else, he would just creep them out, man.
Yeah.
He could not have a girlfriend.
I
wouldn't be surprised if he was still a virgin.
I wouldn't be surprised if he cut the heads off kitties.
I wouldn't be surprised if he drank virgin blood.
I'm glad he doesn't live
anywhere near. Please stay in Canada. Please. He came from the States too. Thank God. Thank God I'll never go to Canada for any reason at all, ever.
But he'll kick some ass, so.
Oh yeah, he's an ass kicker. And that's all he should ever do. He just shouldn't talk anymore. It fucking creeps me out. I don't want to see him in his weird Pee Wee Herman tuxes and
whisper
talking
voice.
about literally killing people, literally taking people's lives. It's just a fight. But anyway, I got that guy.
But I like Condit when he reckless abandon, throws caution and throws a game plan.
Well, that's what I mean. Greg Jackson
doesn't listen to Greg Jackson and just goes back to the way he used to be in his fights.
If
he does that, I can see him.
Even her being so busy with the kids, not being up and up, being on the up and up, with where MMA is at lately. One thing she says is, this Greg Jackson guy, man, that's a quick way to lose fans. And she's not. I mean, it's notoriously well known that Greg Jackson is a point fighter. You know, he trains point fighters, or he takes great fighters that have great knockouts. George St-Pierre, for example, has some great knockouts, some excellent submissions, and turns them into.
3 years since he finished the fight.
It's been 3 years since we got a finish out of GSP. And to me, if you're going to be named one of the most pound for pound, I need to see a finish at least once a year. At least once every 2 years. How about once every 3 years?
Close.
Well, he did get close with Dan Hardy, but he fucked everything up. You can't submit. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. GSP is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And couldn't submit a white belt Dan Hardy when you did everything right. But my early prediction, and listen, it's going to change several times, as is the spread, the betting odds, other people's minds, your minds, and my mind. But as of right now, for the main event,
to take it.
For the main event, I've been saying for the last 10 years, I think Nick Diaz is the guy to dethrone George St-Pierre, no question. I mean, Jake Shields did a hell of a job on the feet with George St-Pierre. Fucked his face up. He even had the doctor, and there was almost a doctor stoppage. So Jake Shields almost won that title. You know, the doctor would have stopped the fight.
Nate could have stopped the fight.
So I mean, if he can get in there and bust his face up to the point where a doctor has to come in and almost stop the fight, imagine what Nick Diaz.
Yes, right.
I mean, I think that Jake Shields is probably about half the striker that Nick is. But regardless, my early pick for the fight is George St-Pierre.
Because of the takedown offense.
Mainly because of the wrestling, just because of this just far superior wrestling.
Guys, why don't you check leg kicks either?
And yeah, I mean, if he gets, they're notorious for just absorbing leg kicks and taking the punishment. And if he does do that, then that's going to weaken his legs. He's not going to be able to put pressure down, to put combinations together, and it's going to make GSP's takedowns that are already the fastest and quickest takedowns in MMA. Just that much. You know, I gained a lot of respect for George St-Pierre after the Carlos Condit fight, especially after that vicious head kick that Nick took tons of.
Yeah. Oh, that case.
But anyway, I gained a ton of respect for George St-Pierre, and it's not up to George St-Pierre to fight a certain way. If he wants to fight that way, that's the way he can fight. It's his opponent's job to, beat that style. That's what it is. Styles make fights. You have to find a way to be better than that guy. Nick has to be better than George that day. He has to fight better than George fights on that day.
And he will.
And we'll see. I'd like to see some footage. I'd like to see some tape. Early on, I would say it's being held at the Bell Center in Montreal. It's not, if it's going to decision, it's not going Diaz's way. I can see GSP retaining the title. It's just really hard for me to see Nick
For
Diaz.
Nick to take it, he's going to have to do...
Just to finish.
Yeah.
He has to finish George St-Pierre, something that hasn't been done in years. Since Matt Sale won.
That's what I'm saying.
It only takes one. So like I said, it could change, but for right now, those are our predictions. And yeah, I'm back, bitches. And I'll be back with more. Check out her channel, How to All in All to Me, because we're going to be doing work for sure. 2013 is going to be a bit different, especially with the high definition and stuff like that. So yeah, check out the channels and hope you enjoyed the video.